Hey Kim, how you doing?
Good morning, Rob.
Warren, how are you doing?
Good. Hey, Dimitri. I didn't know you were Keller Williams.
Hi, Sean. How you doing?
I thought you were EXP. When did you move?
This February.
Okay, very nice.
How about you? Are you joining Keller Williams? Or what's
No,
going on?
I'm just here talking about hard money loans today. Rob was gracious enough to let me come through. Give me 1 second. Let me fix my camera.
Yeah, sure, Sean, we'll get through a couple of things and then we'll have you come on for about 10 minutes. You'll have the ability to go ahead and share your screen too while you do it. Morning, Charles. Here comes everybody. We'll start in like a couple minutes here. And Charles, I've got a couple slides and then I'm going to go right into you. And then we'll have a couple more slides and we'll go into Sean and then we'll wrap the meeting up with Aculist going to give us an update on the market.
Sounds good. I'm just putting in some links and apparently I can't erase for some reason.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. The joys of technology. All right, everyone, we'll get started in just a minute. Oh, if I go gallery view, I can see everybody. Super cool. I forgot to change my screen. If you're wondering what's behind me, it's my little dog, all 9 pounds of him.
All 9 pounds of whoop ass.
Oh, all 9 pounds of just total sweet love. That's a love lug.
That's a screensaver. He looks huge.
I know, right? He's just like this. This is probably about that big. Yeah, I did a Toastmasters last week, and it was cats and dogs. So we had to talk about our favorite cat or favorite dog or something like that, and he's been my best one, so I give him credit. All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started because we got a couple of people that are going to be giving us some more information on just all kinds of good stuff. So an email will go out today. Is that right, Crystal? I think she's on the call.
It already went out.
Oh, it went?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I just haven't gotten it. So Kristen will be transitioning to Chris Olson's team, and we have hired someone, Chelsea Vasquez, and she will be starting May 3rd. And Crystal will be working with her to help her with the transition. And she'll be here. She'll just be upstairs. So we wish Crystal the best. And she's taken really good care of me for the last year. And I know she'll be successful as a realtor, and we'll give her all the support we can. So just want to let everybody know.
That Chris Alston.
And then we want to say congratulations to Vijay for his first closing. Woohoo! Nice job. And then Mr. Coachman, would you like to talk to us a little bit about video marketing?
Sure, absolutely. So first I wanted to start with, this was the year I was supposed to retire. This was the year that I was going to say goodbye. There's nothing more. We're going to go off and just enjoy life. And then a pandemic hit. And so it was a little bit of a strange year. So during this year, I have went out and decided, well, I can't just sit around all the time and just vegetate. I've thrown on enough weight as it is, but I went out and met some people. I've met them through a fellow named Scott McCain, number one, who had been a business coach over several years and a person that I'd listened to. And I went out and met a person named Ken Walls, who has a program called the Grow Live Academy. And Ken Walls has done about 2,000 or more live streams, probably over 2,500 live streams. And I just watched one this morning. And Ken Walls introduced me to several different people over the year, and I kept following him. And then finally I decided I better get smart, and I can utilize this to go ahead and start getting online and doing MLS reports, doing a lot of different things, utilizing the MLS and what we learn here from Keller Williams. So I have put a bunch of different links in there from Ken Wall's Grow Live Academy, StreamYard.com. A lot of you have probably heard of StreamYard.com. If you're not using it, it's one of the best programs out there, and it's one of the programs that Ken teaches about. And then another program that I'm using is Hippo Video, and that is something where I can upload videos to an email, and they do not have to be uploaded or downloaded. You just press play, and then your clients can get in touch with you, and you're getting in touch with them and making it very easy to communicate. And then the screen that I'm using is from Hippo, well, not from Hippo Video, but AnyVoo. And so it's a double-sided screen, and I am doing I'm doing 3 live streams during the week. Actually doing 7 days a week with a Bible study in the morning at 6 a.m. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I am doing something from the MLS where I'm sharing information as to what's going on in the market and things that I am personally seeing, using a lot of information from KW, and we'll be teaching a KW class tomorrow. And then a couple of the other ones that I have in here, the camera that I am using is a Logitech Brio 4K, and then a Blue Yeti microphone. Simple products to use. They plug right in, they're ready to go, no problems at all. I was using whatever camera had come with my computer to begin with, but then switched over where these are a lot better to use. And then there's a couple of other programs. Jeffrey Gitomer. If you don't know who Jeffrey Gitomer is, he has written the biggest best-selling, The Little Red Book of Selling, and he's written 18 other books, along with this one from this year, the Go Live. And that, Ken Walls is part of it, Joe Soto, a young lady named Tara Counterman, who has one of the biggest podcasts going. And so I wanted to make sure that I shared that out. Rob actually has, or Crystal has, 3 books that we're going to give away today. And then I'm going to give away 3 more tomorrow. And that would be the Go Live, Risk Forward, and then Ken Walls just did a journal. And it's a simple journal where we're just keeping track of things where you can help build your businesses. One of the things that has made it so easy and able to keep in touch with my clients is going out and doing these live streams. I have met people from all over the world. I've met people in my neighborhood, but I'm in communication on a daily basis with people from Germany, somebody from Hell, Norway, the Philippines. I'm getting to meet a lot of people. And one of the people that I just contacted was a lady out of Texas who we just did a deal with. And we just actually picked up a red envelope yesterday. She helped us to go ahead and get a referral done, and which was a nice referral. And we've got a listing coming up within the next 15, 20 days coming from that. And a lot of it has to do with what we're doing on video and people understanding, even though I've lost several deals, unfortunately, hey, we're getting out there and doing something. And for somebody that's been locked in his house basically for a year, haven't really went anywhere, being able to do this from, it's one of our bedrooms, and just being able to create something from nothing, because otherwise it would have been a year of me going, what's on TV today, honey? Let's take advantage of it. And one of the things that Jeffrey Gitomer talks about in his book, this is going to be the new way to do business. People that would normally be traveling from one area to another, you're going to eliminate that travel, because you can get on and you can communicate with many people versus going out and communicating with one. And that is really what we've been doing. And if there's any questions about what we're doing, I'm glad to talk about this. These fellas and ladies that I've worked with over the last year are all really brilliant. So I'm just glad I've had the chance to meet them. And I have met some terrific people. One of them is Glenn Morshower. You may not have heard of Glenn Morshower, but he is one of the most famous character actors in show business. He was Agent Pierce on 24. He is currently on The Resident, and he is going to be in Ozark. And I have been able to take part in some of his classes, and it's all about communication. And Glenn has taught several classes that I've been lucky enough to be a part of, and I'm grateful for that. We've also met some of the best authors and business people in the world by taking part in some of these classes. And they have certainly helped me to stand out and help to make a difference. So if we got any questions, I'd be glad to take those. Or not. But anyway, there are those 3 books. If you'd like to give them out, Rob, they're yours to give out, and then we'll do the same tomorrow during the class. And I can't hear anybody, so.
You're good, Charles. Everybody's still waking up. Thank you so much for that, Charles. We appreciate it. It's lots of good information. And I will make sure that I actually share my screen this time. I apologize for that. There's that great slide I was looking for. All right. So Red Day is right around the corner. Well, it'll be here any day. May 13th. If you have the time, to help us with, we're going to these different locations because you can only have so many people at each location. Is Cindy on the line? Maybe she is, because she's running for us. Hey, Cindy, you want to take this for a minute? Okay. She might not be there completely. So we've been sending out the link. We'll send it out again. I'm at one locations with Crystal, and then there's a couple other locations. So we're giving back to the community. From my understanding, what we're doing is we're basically loading these trucks.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead and just tell us what were we doing.
So what we're actually doing is we're taking the bagged up food and we're putting it into people's cars. So at the different locations, it's kind of like, like the food banks they're doing at the schools where the people drive up and then the school people put the food in the car. So basically that's what we're doing. It's pretty low contact, and then we're outside in addition to that, which is nice, in a parking lot. They have opened up a bunch more locations. And I think Crystal sent out directions on how to get the sign up and how to make sure that you get into the right spot on the right day. It's very detailed. It's a little tricky because it's not just one location, but find a friend and sign up. The other option is if you don't feel comfortable health-wise, or you just don't feel that your business can take a day off, or whatever, we would love it if you could make a donation to the Second Harvest Food Bank. We do try and support our local folks. They process 9,000 pounds of food every day, and that food needs to get into people's cars and hands within 48 hours. So it's fresh food, it's canned food. I mean, if you've gone in the past to where we sorted the food, I mean, it's unbelievable. I was just blown away by the amount of food that they process. So hopefully next year, maybe we could go in person, or we could do something different. We're always open for suggestions, but this year we felt that this was the easiest, least contacty way to do it. So, I mean, we'll be wearing our masks, probably be wearing gloves, outside. It's your choice. Crystal does have a list of where folks have signed up. So if you don't want to be the only one in the red shirt at that location, ping her and say, hey, where's everybody at? It's all throughout the day. So if, you want to get up at 7 or even 6 and be somewhere at 7, then that schedule works for you over in San Jose on Nortec, but I think that there's 7 or 8 options of locations and times. So also Crystal did have a shirt deadline. I don't remember what that was. She sent out an email. She sent out a text. I know I have a shirt from last year. I'm just going to wear the same one. Well, 2 years ago. But I think, reach out to her. Rob, do you know what the deadline was on that shirt order?
It was last Friday.
Oh, so
but you don't need a shirt to participate though.
No. And, if you have a shirt from last year, I mean, they're pretty much always the same, right? I mean, you're on mute, Rob. I don't know.
They're pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, so I mean, if you have another red shirt, cool, you know, or even just a red T-shirt, just show up in a red T-shirt and show your love for Keller Williams in the community. So that's it.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cindy, for putting this together for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Class is coming up. So we have Win with Sellers that is continuing on. Oh, look, there's that Charles guy. Yeah. Thanks, Charles, for doing that. And then also this Thursday, we wealth building with Beverly Steiner. It will talk about this much profit share. Everything else will be about wealth building. So I know I'll be there. I've invited a bunch of people that are KW and non-KW, as we can invite non-KW agents to this event, which I've done. So it should be a really good event. And then looks like next week we have designs with Tech Tuesday with John Morris. For if you haven't gone into that, it's Keller Williams kind of alternative to Michael Lewis, just another way to go ahead and create your flyers, your listing presentation, your buyer presentation. Listing presentation is pretty slick. I've seen it. Then the next class with Renee White, how to get to 100 million leverage, was a great class if you're thinking about building a team. It's a really good class if you know someone who's non-KW is thinking about building a team, because they'll talk a lot about different team concepts that they've used. So got those coming up. And then I know that my script people are on the line here. I just want to confirm, are we still on for script practice this Friday? If anybody could give me a heads up. I think they're all on mute. Okay. As far as I know, we'll have script practice this Friday. So unless you hear differently, there's script practice this Friday. All right. So when I was doing my recruiting calls a couple weeks ago, I met Sean. He works for a company that also does hard money lending. And I thought, there's some people that don't really understand what that is or know what comes along with that. So I let Sean know that I give him 10 minutes in one of our meetings to kind of go through what that looks like and what the opportunities are with that, because it might be something that might help you with your business and help him with his the lending business. So what I'll do, Sean, is I will stop my share. And then Sean, I will go ahead and give you the floor for about 10 minutes.
Thanks so much. And good morning, everyone. Hopefully you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday, beautiful week, and meeting all of your goals for the end of the month. Again, thanks so much, Rob, for letting me come through and speak with your group today. Normally when we give this presentation, I do have a slide deck and I go over everything in detail, but seeing as it's the morning and maybe not everyone has had our coffee yet, we're gonna make this more entertaining and more interactive. So I'm just gonna kind of tell you guys what hard money lending is and how you guys can use it to, help your clients or potentially even help yourselves if you're looking to buy an investment property in the future. And so before we get started, I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Sean Pan. I am a real estate investor, a podcast host, meetup group leader, and I'm based in the South Bay. I flipped some homes and I've worked with some of your team members actually to buy properties in Santa Clara and Sunnyvale. And I've also owned some rental properties out of state. But as a hard money lender, we actually do fund most of the rehab projects here in the Bay Area. So if you guys have any flipper clients, there's a good chance that they have worked with us in the past. Now there's two types of hard money loans. The most common one is the bridge loan. And then we're also going to talk about long-term rental loans. So our bridge loans are typically going to be like this short-term 12-month interest-only loan. The rates are going to be higher than conventional lending, but they are going to be a different type of loan where we can close fast, within 10 or 14 days. And the biggest purpose is that we can lend to people who normally wouldn't qualify for this type of loan. So as an example, if you're trying to buy a fixer property, and let's say for my example, when I was buying my first deal in Sunnyvale, I was working as an engineer, I was making decent income, but I already had my own primary residence here, and I already had loans for other rental properties. So when I wanted to go buy a great deal in Sunnyvale, fixer property, they denied me for two reasons. One, the property wasn't in good condition, so conventional financer just couldn't lend on it. But the second of all, my debt to income ratio was too high because I already had all these loans on my other properties. Whereas a hard money lender looked at the property itself and was able to say, okay, there's good potential here. The property is, probably worth $950K. You're able to get it at $865, so it's a great deal right there. And when you sell it, you can probably sell it for $1.25 million. And so without the ability of using hard money loan, I wouldn't have been able to get that deal. And then, lo and behold, we actually sold that one for $1.4 million. So we actually did really well on that one flip project. Interest rates for a hard money loan are typically going to be in the 8.5 to 10% range. And again, that is interest only and for 12 months. You're usually going to have origination fees associated with these hard money loans. So expect your clients to put down an additional 1% of the loan amount in origination fees. And we can lend to them with as high as 90% of the purchase price. Typically for newer clients, it's usually limited to 80%, but for more experienced investors, we can do up to 90%. And yeah, that's basically it for our bridge loans. Again, those are for fix and flip type properties. Now, the second one that we have is a long-term rental loan program. So some people, they have rental properties, but like my previous example, maybe they have too many loans. After you have 10 different loans, the bank just won't give you a loan anymore. Or if your debt to income ratio is too high, like you own this massive property in Palo Alto and you want to buy rental property somewhere else, they just won't give you a loan because you have too much debt. Well, with our long-term rental loan program, we look at the property itself. Can the property's income surpass its PITI, the principal, interest, tax, insurance payments? And if it can, now this property qualifies for our loans, which are 30-year fixed loans. And again, only looking at the property itself, and the rates can go as low as 4%. So they are a little bit higher than conventional financing because these loans are a little bit out of the box. But at least this gives you or your clients the option to buy properties and finance them when normally they wouldn't be able to. So that's my quick information for the day. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me, or you can even ask here live if you have any questions. And I guess I'll put my information down in the chat box as well.
Thank you, Sean, for that. That was very informative. Totally appreciate that. Yeah, go ahead and put your info, thank you, in the chat box. And if anybody has any questions and they come to me, I'll get them right over to you. Thanks for all that insight. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, totally. I might even have a client for you next year. My family is always looking for hard money.
We'll hook you up.
All right. Let's get back to, all right. So we have softball. We are actually going to have softball this year. You're very welcome to come and watch us play or come be a part of the team. Just let me know. There's a fee of $115 per player to play the game. We already have about 18 people, so we have a good sized team. But if you want to play, come on out. It's a lot of fun. And if you don't want to play softball but just want to come support us, you're totally welcome to do that also. And we'll talk more about this as we get closer to the time frame. The CPR, Libby from our safety committee had found this, and there's just some information about taking CPR as it is safety. It's a good class for not just teachers or I think it's a good class for everybody. We were just talking about it's a good class for people like my parents that are taking care of younger kids, their grandkids and that kind of stuff. So if you know of anybody or if you want to check it out, there's some information on it. And before we get to Aculist, I just wanted to see if there were any just listed or coming soons that people wanted to talk about.
Me.
Okay. Go me. Oops.
I have a listing. I'm so excited. So my cute little listing comes on. The photography is today. I'm hoping it's going to go on tomorrow. It is on do not show coming soon, I guess, on the MLS. So I don't know if anyone has seen it. It's 58 Willow Street. It's a super cute little 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom Victorian. It is, 1,060 square feet ish. Does have a full footprint basement. It isn't quite up to the ceiling, that you need permit wise, but I mean, it's pretty good. Foundation looks great. Permit or pest isn't fantastic, but it's really cute and I'm really excited. So sell my house because my little old lady is just over the moon that her house looks so pretty now, and I feel bad because she's lived there since 78 and I got the windows cleaned yesterday and she's like, oh my gosh, so I wanted to go great for her. So if anybody has anyone who's looking maybe for a fixer or somebody wants to scrape it. It's not historic. Historic's across the street, so you can do whatever you want. Lots about 5,000 plus square feet with a beautiful giant tree, shade tree in the back. So it's lovely. Sell my house.
Cindy, go ahead, put the address in the chat box. And is this your first listing?
Oh, no. I've had, it's not listing in a long time, but
Okay.
I've had a couple.
That's what I thought.
But yeah, no, this is a friend of mine, her mom or her aunt. So it's on Willow Street, 58 Willow Street in San Jose. So it is in San Jose. It's not Willow Glen, kind of smushed in between though. And, it's cute. It's a cute little neighborhood. It's a little, it is what it is, but it's down by First Street. The walk score's off the charts. It's like 92 out of 100. So that's kind of nice. I know the millennials like to walk. So,
Nice.
just sell my cute little house. It's very exciting. It's coming on tomorrow, hopefully. And then offers are going to be on Tuesday because we're just trying to push it along.
Cool. Thank you, Cindy.
Yep.
Charles, I see you have your hand up. Is there a listing you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, Rob, I have got a listing coming up, and we are listed again as a do not show. It is right off of Tully Road on the Evergreen side of Tully. It is 2666 Vista Verde Drive. We are going to be having 365 staging, and a handyman crews come through, paint, get a lot of the flooring done because 365 staging also has a flooring company. We're going to change the floors. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,336. We are listing it at $999,888, but the neighborhood has gone absolutely wild, and I would expect it to go in the 1.1 or above range. So it will be on probably right around the middle of May, because we're going to have probably 2 weeks worth of work to get done on it. And that is the couple that's doing this is the couple that just purchased property in Texas, 3 times as big as their house in San Jose, 1/3 of what it's going to sell for.
Yep. Cool.
That's it.
I have
Thanks,
one.
Charles. Go ahead, Terrell. You're up.
So I am in Hawaii right now, guys, and I'm helping a friend who wants to sell her oceanfront property, Kailua Kona. I am sitting here, and that's the ocean 30 feet away. It's pretty amazing. 2,400 square feet. It's been renovated down to the studs, 3-bedroom ensuite, and again, 30 feet to the water, a 1-minute walk to an amazing beach called Turtles, where they actually nest, and, very near town. So if you guys have anybody interested in Hawaii property, I'm actually in process of getting my license here too, but timing didn't permit on this one. So I have a website link for anybody who might be interested. And I also have a need, if I could say that real quick.
Please go right ahead.
I'm working with some clients that are looking for a condo up to $1 million, prefer Santa Clara, but also would be open to San Jose as well, if anybody's got anything coming soon, or a tiny house.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Terrell.
Thank you.
Hi, Rob. I have a listing coming up.
Go ahead, Viviana.
I sent the listing yesterday. It's a little house in downtown San Jose. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. The address is in the chat, 729 East St. James Street, San Jose. It will be completely renovated, beautiful. The garage is converted, 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and it has a separate entrance on the side. And it will be really nice. I think we were going to put it about $799. That will be the price. We are not sure yet. We are still thinking about it, watching the market, what's happening. So
Cool. Congratulations, Viviana. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
And I think our guest is here. Our last one. Michelle, I think I saw you come on.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, hi, everybody. So I just caught the end of that. Jealous about Hawaii. Okay. I wish I would have missed that part. I wouldn't have felt so bad about being in my house in Campbell. But anyway, hey, how's it going, everybody? So I'm here to do a market update. Mark Messmer's also here. He just needs to sit down in his seat. Oh, there he is. Here to do just a quick update. I'm going to go first, Mark, and just do kind of what's going on out there. And then if anybody has questions for myself or Mark, we'll tackle those. So let me get to sharing so we can see here and get you guys out of here and get going. So presenter screen. So yeah, so we've had a good thing going on. I see AJ out there, so there could be questions headed my way, but just chat them, or if anybody has anything, if you guys let me know. Rob, I would love to make this conversational. If we were in a building together, it would be a lot less of me and a lot more of us. So let's get started. So yeah, gosh, oh, Santa Clara County. I'm speechless. Let's see. This is a graph that I've been using a lot. I've been here, since the start of the year using this graph. And the reason I use it is just basically because it's 3.5 years worth of data, but it's pretty palatable. People can kind of see visually what's happened over the last year. From July on of last year, on the right-hand side, that pewtery line, you just see the price appreciation very strong, right? Very reasonably strong in Santa Clara County, where you saw it be high, but not all-time high. And then all of a sudden this year, just starting from January, we're just seeing the price rise with that orange line. So yeah, it's 1.6 million, which is an all-time high price for Santa Clara County in the single family home market. And it's just been pretty incredible out there. If you look at a 2.5 year trend and you want to see the numbers, you can see here where in the last 2 months, the price appreciation has been significant. So it's an 8% jump from what we saw last month. So that was February, a 14% increase year over year. It has been pretty incredible what we've seen happen since the beginning of the year, with relatively no seasonality. I'll tell you what, like in 3 years, when we start seeing graphs and we see these just notorious humps of, cycles in Santa Clara County, and then this one's just going to be missing because it just didn't ever really stop here, which makes it really tough on the buyers. But the good news is we saw some, pretty high closed sales. So in March, that means February was pretty robust in terms of the number of transactions. 913. You can see here it wasn't close to that in the last few March. I know a March of a year ago is not the best comparison, but it still dwarfs anything like it. In fact, if you want to look at sale volume, which is just the number of dollars transacted, which are the price times the number of closed sales, you can see here, this is just the sum, I guess, of all the closed sales. But when you have both that are really high, last year's not a great comparison, but it dwarfs every year of the last 5. So recent memory, so to speak. And 2018, was a great year in Santa Clara County. So you can see that 2021 is off to a fantastic start. So you're like, Michelle, I have buyers. Or you have any good news? Are you here with anything important, positive for my buyers? Well, there's a little bit of positive news, which comes in the forms of the new listings, right? So 1386 roughly, which means that in March in Santa Clara County, there were more new listings than there were any time last year. That's good news. If there's something that's going to put downward pressure on prices, it's probably going to be choice, new listings, inventory, although we can't seem to keep much of that. But it is really great where we see at least that there's some choice right out there for your buyers. So that's good news. We've seen that steadily increasing, not unusual. That's the time of year. And then I'll jump back into the bad news. So rough.
Michelle, a question.
Yeah.
Can you go back to the last
AJ,
chart,
I knew
please?
it. I knew it. There he
Hey,
is.
so I look at, you said some good news on 1386, but I look at 2019 March, that was almost close to 1350, right? So to speak.
March would be 1116.
Oh, that was okay.
March of
1116 was
2019.
it. So
Mhm.
it is considerably higher number. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't bring that graph with me, AJ, but I have one where it shows you all the new listings for the past 5 years, because not last year, new listings is, so we're not comparing it to a year ago, but even if you line it up, this is good. It means, we just kind of move through the end of the season very quickly, and the cycle is moving up, right? So last year we had a very late cycle because of the pandemic, and this year we just kept right on going in. And so will it continue? I don't know. Not everybody in Santa Clara County can move. And the challenge is, where do you go? What do you buy? Do you stay? Do you move? But at least we're seeing that's the only real thing right now that's giving us any kind of solution to these just, increasing prices, right? So for your buyers, I mean, sellers don't love this news at all, even though it still won't make a difference. It really just won't make a difference. But at least you can tell people they have something to see, right, AJ? And then, I'll just hop back in with news about the speed of the market. So it's just so fast. And this is not unique. So we're used to single digits, right? I mean, you can see the left-hand side of the graph. 2019 really was kind of a middle of the road year when it came to, we had a little bit of seasonality in the, the peak times. It did ramp up, but in general, we saw things kind of calm down. This is reminiscent again of 2018 with single digits, but it's happening all around us. We're used to it. I mean, imagine when I went to Santa Cruz and told them it was in the single digits, or Hollister, San Benito County in the single digits, Monterey in single digits. That's when people are going, what's going on here? It has been moving very quickly. It's not unique to us, San Mateo County as well. Everything's just really coming on, coming back off. And so there's not a lot of choice. And then I think one of the bigger stories for 2021 so far is that we're seeing 109% sale to list price ratio. So that's at the county level. We'll look at the cities here in a second, but we haven't seen numbers like this. We saw 111 and 112 as a county in 2018, but we hadn't seen anything like this since. And so both San Mateo County, Santa Clara County, Santa Cruz was up to 105. They've been up over 100 since July. San Benito County Hollister's been up over 100 for 8 months. I mean, this is pretty tough stuff out there, unless you're selling, like I said, unless you're selling. So county, and I didn't hear the who had listings and wants and needs. So I don't know if this is good news for Rob or bad news out there, but hopefully it's helpful. So that's county. Any questions before I jump into city, or is anyone?
Michelle, I'd like to add one more thing to the county, which is, you pointed out the $1.6 million median sale price for a single family in Santa Clara County. Who'd have thought that 2 million would be the new number they're flirting with in San Mateo County, right? I
mean, not to disagree with you, because you're like my bestie, but everybody thought it would get to 2 million. It's been hovering at 1.8, 1. We don't know. Look, I got a shake out of AJ. I got a chuckle out of Rob. I mean, we all knew this was coming. I mean, the fact when it hits 2 million, it's kind of like that 1,300 number in the stock market. You know what I mean? Like 13,000 in the stock market. It's just this number. And by the way, as you know, Monterey is almost at the $1 million mark, right? So we're seeing some real, some shattering of ceilings, so to speak, because that would be incredible to see that happening. So it's going on all around us. So Mark, everybody saw it. No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody saw it coming. Well, the interesting part about the Monterey number is, you think Monterey, Pebble Beach and Carmel and this. No, we're talking Salinas and Greenfield and Gonzales and, the
inland.
Of
people forget, like Marina, there's Watsonville's a big part of that. So, there's the Pebble Beach and the Carmel and stuff, but there's a lot of other parts of the county too.
So Michelle, I got something for you. So my wife and I are looking in Marina right now, and $1 million homes are selling in 10 days in Marina.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, it's Marina. Like, if you don't know what Marina is, it's hit or miss. It can be very yucky and very good, but you would never think $1 million in Marina, especially that fast. It's crazy.
No, Rob, it is. And we've watched it happen. I just celebrated my 4th year at MLS Listings. And when we first came, those new builds out in Marina, and I was like, really? It was a little bit of a head scratcher, right? Where is this? Mark took me by on our way to get pies at the Black Bear Diner. Those were the days. But we went by and it was like, and people said, it really matters what side of the street you're on and this and that. Now, Rob, all of those homes over $1 million, they're all finally reselling. We're finally seeing them. We didn't get them at the new build, but we got them now. And
exactly.
Oh man, Watsonville too. I mean, Monterey is oftentimes our longest video because there's so much to say about the diversity of that county and how much things are going up and down. And it's like Pebble Beach common interest all-time high. I was laughing. I was like, Pebble Beach has common interest? Ah. But anyway, it's I think it's happening all around us. And that's why when I'm sure a lot of you, as I transition here into median prices at the city level, I'm sure as you know, people are asking you, this is outrageous, what's going on? I think that not that people care what's happening in other counties. They say, hey, I'm interested in this zip code and that's it. But I think telling them that this is not unique to us, it's not unique to a particular zip code. You're not getting into a situation where you're getting like ripped off by a certain group of people. It's happening everywhere. Hollister at 765 median. I mean, prices are just really high. There's a desire to have space and land, and there's a lot of movement and limited inventory. And so that's how you see these numbers here. This is the median sale price compared to a year ago, and the positive percentage change almost across the board. There were some cities that decreased, but marginal. I mean, we're just seeing all sorts of, you know, month to month and year over year gains. There's going to be some of you out there saying, why are you comparing prices to a pandemic month? It was the beginning of the pandemic. And I hear you. Well, I mean, figuratively, I hear you. It's still really a good price though, because March, if you'll remember, 17th is when we had shelter in place, which means that everything was already in the pipeline. So things closed through March. It was really April that we're going to have to get creative, because April was where we really saw things kind of move around. But prices in March were fine. In fact, they were really high at the time. So these are actually pretty good. But if you want to take a look at maybe month over month, excuse me, then you can see here that, you know, the list does change a little bit, meaning Milpitas, Los Gatos, Los Altos, Morgan Hill, Mountain View are seeing a month over month decline in prices, meaning there is a little bit of a break, maybe for some of your buyers in those markets from a month ago. And so it's not all positive and it's not all excessive, right? It just depends kind of on where you are and what's available at the month. There's still some places where there's a little bit of a decrease, like for example, Mountain View, that's 18%. That's a pretty big deal, right? So there's still pretty, it's generally very high though. I mean, even as we look at common interest, 877 for the county, so 877,000 is the median in the common interest market. We can see here pretty much just year over year up. But last year was a pretty down year for common interest. So it's not surprising to me to see these kinds of numbers, but we're seeing a lot of high price, whether it's that or common interest. And I always do this for you guys. I grab MLS area for those of you working the San Jose market. San Jose is not super helpful as a stat, so I try to bring you guys a little bit of extra data. So even just here, look at in the areas, there's just not much negative, but it's that time of year. I'd be surprised if there were negative year over year numbers. Because it's just this time of year. So these are pretty high though in terms of appreciation over a year ago. So it's just kind of tough news out there unless you're selling. Now, in terms of the closed sales, I went month over month. The closed sales year over year is fine because like I said, the pipeline was already established by the time we sheltered it in place. But month over month, you can see here where only Monte Sereno is negative, which means the one less sale. And that just means what happened in February, right? So again, in terms of momentum, you know, things are moving quickly and they're moving sooner than we usually see. March is not unusual in terms of a price peak, but usually April and May are the most in terms of peaks of volume transactions. So this is a little early. And as you see in the common interest market, it is a little bit more varied. Cupertino, Los Altos, Saratoga, Los Gatos, with a few fewer than we had a month ago. And so in general, though, still pretty strong. And even when you go to the MLS areas, so only Almaden and Santa Clara, the area, not the city, area of Santa Clara, right? So that's how you get those negatives. The thing I would do, and I've been all over, and you're gonna be like, stop it with these graphs, Michelle, we've had it. But this is really, I think, the way to go right now. I mean, we're doing this called the weekly, right? The Aculist weekly, and we're doing closed sales, new listings, and pending. So first of all, if you have a high maintenance client, like I imagine I would be, that wants data all the time, this comes out weekly. It comes out every Tuesday morning. So there's that, you know, solution to getting people content. But then there's also, if you're not interested in the year over year or month over month, which, you know, for the next 90 days, we're kind of going to have some issues. June was largely back on track, I'll tell you, but you know, April, May, so I would go weekly if you're wanting to look, because it has 2020, but it has 2019. Is that blurry? Is that just me? I need to get my eyes checked, but it looks, sorry, maybe I blew it up too much. It's a little blurry, but it goes by week, it's by county, it's all classes. It just gives you a really good indication of what's going on out there in terms of closed sales. And we're seeing a ton, even over 2020, right? 2019, a ton. And so that's, you know, kind of one of the solutions. And on that note, I'm going to breeze past new listings because it's kind of irrelevant. Don't look at the percentage change. New listings was completely disrupted by the shelter in place. So the right-hand columns mean nothing. It was a half month's worth. It's not surprising, although Santa Clara, isn't that interesting that in the whole month this year was less than the half month last year? That's pretty interesting. But by and large, this is junk. Mark, did I see you raise your hand?
Me? No, I'm just going into amaze mode here.
Oh, you're ruining my flow.
No,
So
you're
anyway.
you're good.
Okay, so new listings, the only important part of this chart is just the new listings this year, right? So you're saying, hey, we had more than any single month last year. Where were they? Well, they were in San Jose, to be honest. But you know, this is the same thing with common interest. Ignore the right-hand side, but what's interesting is what happened this year so far. Again, San Jose, big time. And then if you look new listings month over month is what I grabbed, just to show you that even month over month in these areas, you're seeing a lot more. So sellers are hearing, you know, hearing the prices high. If you're going to make a move, they're coming on the market pretty big time, except for in San Jose, but by four homes. So again, I would go with the weeklies. I would stick to the weeklies. So these are week ending last week. There's new ones up, so you can go check those out. But this was for a week ago. We have the new ones out already. But you can see here, look at that. It's way higher than last year and much higher than even 2 years ago. And so this is like, hey, buyers, don't give up. There's something to see. We can, you know, at least there's 2 homes we can look at. But anyway, all right, enough of me. Days on market. It's really mixed, right? So we have like those single digits for the county, but it really depends on where you are. It's heating up in some places, cooling down in others, but by marginally, right? And I always tell Mark, it's not the days, it's just the trend. It's not like, you know, 8 versus 10 days matters to anybody. It doesn't. What it means is just in general, things are slowing down. You have a little bit more time, but this is just kind of outrageous in terms of how quickly things are moving. So that's the tough one. And then, like I said, last set of slides here, guys, hang in there with me, but increased sale to list price ratio. This is where I think people are having the hardest time, because it's the high prices are one thing, and notoriously Santa Clara County, we underprice and then we get a lot of bids, and that's kind of a pricing strategy that happens in Santa Clara County. It's kind of unique to us. It happens a little bit in San Mateo County, but not so much on the coast and with our southern neighbors. But when you have an all-time high price in some of these cities, and then you have, you know, sale to list price ratios we haven't seen in 4 years, it's really not underpricing so much as it is just the willingness for people to pay a premium in these places. So you don't get to 111% so much, or 107 and 10s. It's a little bit underpricing, but it's also just how competitive the market is. And so when you see these, this is something that definitely, and remember, a year ago, the sale to list price ratio is one of the highest it was all year. So you're going to say, these are junk too, Michelle. I'm like, no, this is not. New listings bad. Sale to list price ratio, this is a good comparison to where we were a month ago. Same thing with the common interest, right? So only Los Gatos, Mountain View, and Saratoga declining a little, and only Saratoga under 100, which is not unusual. Very few property common interest in Saratoga, and luxury as well. So not unusual there. We're just seeing a lot of premiums for that sale to list price ratio and the common interest. And then finally, MLS area. So we can see here, wow, 111, 113 Hub Berryessa. That might be some of the pricing. Blossom Valley, 115%. Remember, that was like an all-time high price. So this is tough stuff, guys. I'll leave this up for a second for it to just kind of sink in.
Everybody just take a nice calming breath right now.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking like what to say, sink in, make us all sad. I don't know, it's just tough.
Just,
you know, I don't, gosh, you know, one of the brokers, right, Santa Cruz was like, this is not good news, Michelle. I was like, I do not delight in any of this. I am just bringing you the truth. I recognize this is tough. And when I know my neighbors are asking me like, what is happening? I know that that's, a good part of your job too, is trying to educate people and help them understand what's going on. So, here's the weekly. This is what it looks like. I snippeted the graphs. They could be great for social media. They can be great for websites. Use them as you'd like. This is what it looks like though when you go to get it. And the way you get it is by going to the Aculist weekly market update, which is on the top of Pro. So it's always there. It's new. We promise every Tuesday afternoon. It's usually up by Monday, right? So Monday evening. So if you're ever just trying to get some data out to people and get something out there, there's that. And then I come see you guys every month. So there's really no need. The videos, they cover a little bit of different stuff. But if you are looking, like Rob's going to be like, oh, that Monterey County one just sounded a little bit more interesting. And if you're doing business over the hill, or sorry, Terry, I don't have Maui. Unfortunately, we don't have the data for that, but I wish I did. And but there's some other counties. So anybody doing business or just very curious about what's happening out there, we're getting them down to 10 minutes. That's our goal. We're so close. I'm wordy. I can go on and on, as you can tell right now. So I'm going to try to stop doing that. But 10 minutes, you guys, if you're interested in some of those other counties. So any questions or anything I missed?
Always
So
fun, Michelle. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, AJ.
So Michelle, in general, it's this is regional. This is not a Santa Clara County only condition in the marketplace right now.
It's national. I mean, Mark,
yeah.
Mark and I are working on, we have a partner economist, Dr. Elliot Eisenberg, and he's great. And he's come on shows with us, and he publishes this quarterly outlook that we put on .com. MLSlistings.com. Most people don't know about MLS listings. We like bury all this value. We love to do that. We just put it where no one can find it. So we were, looking at recording a video on his highlights, and his highlights, number one, national regional overview. This is national. This is a national issue. It's particular to the region though, because of some of the wage growth and some of the things that we've seen over the course of the pandemic. We weren't as affected. I don't want to give away the video, but we're going to talk about some of these things because we've done pretty well, right, in the area, and people are using that wealth to buy real estate.
Right. Mm. Okay, Rob, were there any other topics you wanted to cover, Rob? I know it's like everybody take a breath,
Are you telling me? Oh, I know I could overdo it. I get really excited about this stuff. I know it's
not at all. It's just there's so much happening.
It's what's nice, Michelle, is the energy that you bring, because it can be so dry, the data. It makes it more entertaining for us, so we totally appreciate that.
Okay. Well, I never know if people are like, that lady, she just needs to stop. So I know I'm not for everyone, but I do get really, not excited because it's not necessarily great news, but I just, there's a lot here. There's a lot to communicate to your clients. There's a lot behind what's happening. This is not a bubble. We'll talk about that on the video too. Okay. So, anyway, you don't have to take it from me. You can take it from Dr. Elliot Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Or get his thoughts up there.
Dr. E.
Jenny, you have a question? Any more?
Go by that.
Yeah. Those crystal ball questions, you want to take a stab at it?
Oh, I can't.
Now you're scaring her.
I mean, if we were, out on the patio, safely distanced, I'd tell you all sorts of things, Jenny. Personally, I have a lot of opinions. I'm not at liberty to say. MLS Listings doesn't like me to attach adjectives to anything. There's no good, there's no bad, there's nothing predictive about what I can say. So unfortunately, but Dr. Eisenberg does have some things and he can say them. So, tune in for that video. We're going to hopefully record it by the end of the week, and maybe next time I come visit you next month, I can share some of his thoughts on what will happen by the end of the year.
Oh, that would be great if you could do that. Thank you, Michelle.
Try and work that in. Sorry, Jenny, disappointing.
Hey, Michelle, I have a request for you. I think I can do it myself also, but I just wanted to see, this year kind of resembles a little bit like 2018. So every data on comparing on 2018 to 2021 would be like that crystal ball. So we can kind of see if that pattern will repeat itself.
Maybe. I think it most resembles 2018 as well, AJ. You heard me reference that several times when I was talking. The only thing about 2018 was the cycle started a little later. The cycle started a little later, and it came off a very low end of 2018. And so at some point you say you can't carry that momentum higher because you can't continuously have what we've had for the last 7 months. So my only caution is that, yes, that was a little bit of a difference. And then the interest rates and some other things, but it most resembles that year. That remains like the best year ever in real estate in terms of volume and, you know, transactions and things. So 2021 so far seems to be exceeding that.
Yeah, it's and it would be good to see how much it is exceeding. And also, there was a cliff drop in June in 2018, and so that would be the interesting thing to see, whether we're going to see something like that or will this continue. You know.
Yeah, I mean, stay tuned. We'll be here every month to talk about it. And ooh, Terry put Econ 70. Yeah, he Dr. Eisenberg, he's so great. He has this like thing where he says 70 words or less every day. He's very entertaining. Love him. Thanks for putting that up there. Yeah, he's great.
Cool. Again, thank you, Michelle, Mark. We totally appreciate your time. For those of you that some people asked the slide deck, Michelle will send this to me later, and then we will go ahead and forward it on to you so that you can use the material. Obviously, a lot of great insights that you can utilize with your clients. Just to end the meeting, as Charles said, he's given us 3 books to give to people. So we did a couple selection just for fun. This is all fun. So we picked Capri, Narinda, and Priyanka. And if you guys could, if you guys could reach out to Crystal, she will go ahead and set you up with one of those books that Charles gave to us. We so appreciate that. And thanks for your time today, Charles. We appreciate that. And is there anything else? I think we got everything. Cool. All right, you guys, have a great week, and we will see you all next week. Oh, and thank you, Sean.